In this episode of the Spiral Up podcast, you are going to hear from my client, my dear friend, Dr. Argie Nichols. You guys, she is a woman who has mad skills, mad legacy building experience, and she's going to be teaching us what it means to leave the world better than we found it. Now, I'm not talking about just leaving our kids, our favorite hand-down chair or a bunch of money. I'm talking about healed relationships. I'm talking about making sure that the wisdom that you have is being passed down. I'm talking about also making sure that your estate's in order. And all of those things are going to be really allowing us to maximize this third and possibly, obviously final stage of our lives. So you're not going to want to miss this because she has some really, really interesting stories and how she got to this point, along with all of the wisdom that she has professionally. So you're not going to want to miss this. I'll see you inside the show. Welcome to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Wieme, a peak performance coach and business strategist dedicated to helping you see what's possible within you, the blind spots that are holding you back, and the solutions to ensure success and fulfillment without the hustle. I use my secret sauce of metaphysics, brain science, and scripture to work with God to manifest your ideal life and business. If you're ready to create massive forward momentum in your business and bust through the blocks that drag you down, join me on the Spiral Up journey and create the clarity, confidence, and consistency to become the CEO that lives your life by design. It's time to create the sustainable impact, income, and time freedom you desire faster. Now is the time to spiral up. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Wieme, and today I get to welcome my client, my friend, Dr. Argie Nichols. You guys, Dr. Argie is an amazing woman, and I just got to say that, so many of these episodes, we talk to people that we're just getting to know or maybe filled out a form, but I got to tell you, I have had the opportunity because Argie has come into my world to spend a lot of time with her. She's been on 2 of my retreats, and we got to know each other really well then. And now she's one of my high-level clients. And so that means that we not only get to see each other one-on-one, but we also had this really intense 4-hour deep dive where we got to dive into her business and I got to dive into her mind. And gosh, wow, what an amazing woman you are, Dr. Argie. And I am so stinking excited for people to get to know you and what you're about, because it's so necessary and so needed. So before we kind of dive into your story, because it's so stinking exciting and just real to see how you've taken these experiences and woven them into good, really is what we were going to talk about today. I would love to hear from you on how you love to serve the world. Like, what lights you up these days?
Well, I've been a teacher, educator for 45 years, and that lit me up for 45 years. And it was hard for me to retire. But then I got to thinking, I don't have to stop teaching. Mm-hmm. I can now hone in on that special person. And that special person is women that are 55 plus thinking about retiring, where I was just not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And it was scary for me. And I'm thinking, why is this scary? So I want to help women that are thinking about or already there going into their third phase of life. But I like to call it their golden chapter.
Yes.
Because, oh my goodness, they've lived, they've taken care of family, they've taken care of kids, they've done everything except take care of themselves, basically. Mm-hmm. So now it's their turn to take care of themselves and their legacy. And when I say the word legacy, people go, that's kind of sounding like, okay, my third chapter just means I'm going to die and roll over. I'm like, oh, no. We're just getting warmed up.
Yes.
So it's all about mindset. I want women to know that they're going into a very blessed time in their lives.
Yeah.
And they need to record and leave their legacy. And I'm not, like you mentioned earlier, I'm not talking about money. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about, I'm going to put air quotes around, stuff.
Yeah.
Look behind me. You can see we all have stuff.
I know, right? Yes. Yes.
And that's not what it's about.
Mhm.
I
Right.
mean, yeah,
It's all of
it's
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to leave
Mhm.
stuff,
Mhm.
but if what good is stuff if there's not a story to go along with it? And
100%.
if you don't tell the story, who's gonna know? And
Mhm.
in my case, since I have quite a bit of stuff, um, mine would go to Savers or the local, resale shop, to be
Right,
honest with you. If
right,
I don't tell my son and my children about why I have this, where
yeah,
it came from, and why it's important.
right, right. Okay, so you mentioned that you are a teacher, so I'm just gonna, like, give some context to you guys. So Argie has been a professor in Arkansas, right? Is that correct? In Arkansas for a very long time. And
Mhm.
just to kind of give people a little snapshot, you've had a couple of pinnacle moments in your career. Maybe share like one of your favorites, just because I know that you did some traveling, like you've done some really amazing things.
Yes. Gosh, there's so many, it'd be hard for me to pick. One of the most exciting trips well, there were so many. I took a group of students, along with some other professors and professionals,
Mhm.
to Peru.
Yeah.
And we worked with National Geographic and mapped a National Geographic dig site for them. We took all of our GIS equipment down there. And of course, when we were going through security, we had to bear it all. And they looked at us like, okay, this is beam me up, Scotty type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they didn't have a clue what we were there to do.
Yeah.
And then when we actually got on site and started mapping, we earned their respect. There was a language barrier, but I had students with me that were Hispanic and could speak Spanish, so we had a connection there.
Yeah.
But that connection with them and with the site was amazing. And I'll give you a little hint. If you go back, and I think it's the November issue of National Geographic magazine, and I think it was 2011, there
Okay.
was a featured article there talking about a mummy, a mother, and a baby that they had uncovered at this site. And it was kind of a moment for Peru
Yeah.
to uncover that. And when we got down there, and this was probably 2.5 years later,
Mhm.
we helped map that site and we had a ground penetrating radar. So we uncovered lots of burial sites
Yeah.
for
And
them to
it's
explore.
amazing. And so the reason I bring this up is that, you are a very accomplished woman, and I know that you really connect well with other women who have lived a full life, a full
Mhm.
career life, who have perhaps dedicated, a majority of their lifetime to education, whether it be to go to medical school, to law school, to become a professor, and then to pour your heart and your soul into your profession, which is really kind of dives back into what you were saying, is that people that are thinking about retiring have a really hard time doing that because our identity is really tied up in all of that work that we put in. And it's like, if I'm not that, then who am I? And I'm not ready to just roll over and, sit on the couch and watch daytime TV. Like, I've lived a full life. I don't want to go from all to nothing. And what you've really done is have allowed people who are thinking of transitioning out of the grind of the full-time career, but not have to give up the fullness of their life and not have to give up all of the things that they've worked on. And it's like to be able to bridge the accomplishments and the passions and the impact they've made to what they also can do in this next season. And that's what's been so fun for you, because a lot of my clients come to me, RG, with like, I don't know what my purpose is. And it's like our purpose can morph into things. And so your purpose has been teaching for, a lifetime. And now you're like, okay, now my purpose is to help women to merge everything that they've done in this lifetime to what is possible in this next season.
Absolutely.
And it just gives me chills, honestly, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's like you've literally opened this door of possibilities in a welcoming place, not a place that I have to be preoccupied by everything I'm leaving behind, but to have the excitement to know that I can bring that with me and I get to see what's next for me.
Yes, absolutely. And that one story that I just told with the mama and the
Yeah.
baby,
Yeah. Yeah.
they were, I guess, the lack of
Mhm.
crucified
Yeah. Yeah.
because the mummy was, I think they ruled like over 1,000 years old.
Okay.
But to see that woman cuddling and holding this baby,
Mm,
it just, well, the 20 of us, 21 of us that
yeah.
were on that trip,
Yeah.
this changed their lives. It
Yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah.
And after we got in the good graces and they understood that we were there to help them, they
Yeah.
took us behind the scenes
Mhm.
and they let us watch them unwrap that baby.
Yeah.
And if you think about burial material that's
Mhm.
over a thousand
Yeah.
years old and
Yeah.
that's wrapping in this, well, you could have heard a pin drop.
I bet. I bet.
And even still today, these students have spread far and wide, but I still get calls and things
Yeah.
um, talking about what an experience that was for them. And I'm thinking, the world needs to know about that, not
Mhm.
just the 20 or so people that were on the actual
Right.
trip with us. So that's part of legacy.
That's part of legacy is just sharing those stories and knowing that you're mentoring
Hmm.
generations to follow you so that someday, I mean, people might not remember my name, but I'm hoping that they're going to remember some of the impact that I've left the world because of what I've done. And
Absolutely.
that's what you're trying to do is making sure that we are fostering this next generation and we're spreading our wisdom and mentoring people in this next phase as well. And speaking of relationships, so I think that one of the things that I love about you is that you are so well-rounded. You guys, this woman has talents that are beyond anything that we can cover in this half-hour conversation. Like, you talk about a renaissance woman. Dr. Argie is that. But one of the things that I really really love about you is your passion for relationships. And I'm going to guess that when we get to this golden phase of our lives, right? That we may have lived and loved a lot. And
Hmm.
what that means is that we might have some really amazing people that we've had that we've lost. We might have had some relationships that maybe went a little sideways, right?
We all have, yeah.
Y'all have, and this is the interesting thing. Like, you guys don't know this about me, and I've never shared this on the show. But I have a little brother that I absolutely love and adore. But he has not talked to our family for about 12 years. And it breaks my heart. I send him prayers. I send his family prayers. I think of them. In fact, their daughter just had a birthday a couple days ago, and I thought of her, but I haven't seen her since she was born, 12, 13 years ago. It's 12 years ago. So the point is that we all, if you talk to enough people, you're going to find out that we all have these people in our lives that have come and have gone, that have left an impact, left perhaps a wound that it feels like I just don't know if I have the peace until I maybe heal some of those wounds. And maybe that means reconciliation, but maybe that just means healing myself from the trauma that happened from that. And you can get into this as much as you want to, but one of the things that I know that you've had to endure in your lifetime is perhaps some people that are very near and dear to you that have passed. You've
Mhm.
had situations where people that you do love maybe aren't reciprocating the same back to you, I guess. And it took you down a path that has really equipped you, I guess, for not only helping people to heal these relationships, but also, I mean, you ended up getting a law degree. in order to protect a family estate and things like that because of things that happen. So when I say that Argie has lived the life and has acquired the wisdom, like I'm serious, you guys. And so Argie, tell us a little bit about any of that you feel like you are wanting to share as part of your story today.
It's funny that you just brought that up. Just this week, that little brother
Uh-huh.
reached out and said he would like to settle. He would like to. It's been
Oh,
15 years
oh,
just this week. And I don't know, just barely into the week,
oh my
but
God.
it's taken 15 years. So now we're in the process
Mm,
of setting up a meeting and seeing how we can settle that. We have a beautiful legacy. He's living down on our beef cattle ranch that's been in our family for 138 years, and it's an Arkansas Century farm. And because he was misguided by, well, I'll say an attorney that was had nothing but money on his mind, he didn't care about our family, and he tore our family apart, basically. And after 15 years of all of this, now we're going to get together. Now, we may not settle.
mhm,
We don't know where it's going to go,
mhm,
but at least he reached out and asked.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
my oldest niece was the one that instigated the letter, and
Mhm,
that's one of the things that I teach in my legacy program is um, healing those wounds. And if it takes writing a letter and reaching out to make the first step,
mhm,
then I have a template for that.
mhm.
Well, your letter, of course, probably, hopefully, will never be like our letter, but it's a start. And it's me showing people how they can heal some of those things.
Mhm,
And the people that we've lost, of course, during this 15-year time frame, we lost our parents.
mhm.
We were not allowed to attend the funerals. As a matter of fact, we didn't even know they had passed until after their funeral. So that hurt.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's a story that needs to be told. And I,
Yes.
and I'm not the only one with stories like this. So
Right.
I
Right.
think it's so important, so very, very important that
Mhm,
you at least try to heal the past before all the parties are gone or you're
right.
gone. So
Yeah.
that's why I say this is your golden chapter.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
it, tell it with grace, tell it with humor, tell it like it was, or
Mhm,
like it is,
mhm.
and earn that peace back in your life so that
Right. Right. I mean, and that I teach manifestation, right? So I'm just going to expect that this or something better is going to come of this, right? And I think back on conversations that we've had at retreats, and like the fact that you said that you guys are talking is huge, you guys, like huge.
huge.
And so like miracles can happen all the time, and at the same time we let go of the outcome. And so that if that means that I can find peace regardless, that's really what you've been able to do, RG, is help people to reconcile if that's what's meant to be, but also just reconciling our own hearts.
Yes.
And and it's so important, I think, in any of our lives, right? When we look back and it's like, gosh, what would I have done differently? And recognize that it's not too late to do things differently. It's not too late to have conversations. It's not too late to voice feelings and reach out, or to accept an invitation when somebody does reach out to you. Like, it's not too late.
It's never too late.
Mm.
Never.
Yeah.
And another little piece that goes along with that, maybe you have peace in your family
Hmm.
currently,
Hmm.
and you haven't set up a will or a trust to
Hmm.
take care of when you pass who gets what,
Yes.
back to the stuff. And I
Yeah.
have seen so many families ripped apart
Hmm.
over
Yes.
a little piece of nothing.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's like your family might be getting along fine now, but then, and that, I without getting into a lot of detail, that I saw that play out when both of my grandparents passed. And gosh, broke my heart, right?
Yeah.
Different sides of people come out when money is involved. And the more that, I've had conversations with my parents, like the more organized that you can be, the more willing you are to have hard conversations now, the better it's going to be for all of us, right? And so that's all about being proactive. Now that doesn't mean that I have to be grim and think, oh my gosh, like when I die this is going to happen. Like thinking about it from that possibilities, that legacy perspective, like, ooh, this is all of the fruit of my labors from my lifetime. I
Yep.
can't wait to see the impact that this can make in my family. And I want it to happen in the most smooth, peaceful, fun, joyful way
Yep.
that it can happen. And you're able to do that because you've lived this life of both good and bad experiences. And like I said, you had to earn your law degree out of necessity so that you could basically be able to fight back with your
Yeah. And
family.
you know what? It truly was worth the fight. So this ranch that I'm talking about
Yeah.
has been in our family for 138 years.
Mhm.
And I know, as well as my other family members knew, what our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents wanted to happen.
Mhm.
Well, that's not happening
Right.
yet.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was willing to fight for that, and I'm still
Yeah.
willing to fight for
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I don't know the outcome of this
Yeah.
meeting,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm going into it because I'm looking for peace. You
Absolutely.
know?
Yes, absolutely. And then, and though too, like what you can do for your family, your offspring,
Yeah.
your legacy, being very proactive and organized and having conversations now and all those things. And that's what I love about what you do inside of the Her Legacy program that you have, your framework that you do, is you help women have these conversations. You help them with this planning part of it because you have all of this wide background of things and resources and people that you have in your circle, so you're able to help with that. But it's also helping them with the conversations.
Yes.
It's also helping them with the piece of being okay with those decisions that you make, right? Like all of that is part of this. And you don't even think about like unnecessary stress that happens when you're deciding like who gets what, and the peace that comes with that. And you're able to help people to come to terms in peace and have a really good feeling going forward on how all of that's going to play out.
Yep. And there's lots of, I don't want to say legalese, but there are things
Mhm.
that need to
Yeah.
be done
Mhm.
to take care of
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about those things
Yeah.
until my
Yeah.
situation came up,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's where the law
Yeah.
education came in. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, and it's also important to know um, about the different unique laws wherever your property is located.
Right.
Yeah, I want to tell you something. I lost a very dear friend, co-worker. We've worked together probably for 40 some odd years. He was a single man, never been married. He has a niece and a nephew that he's not estranged from, but they don't see each other very often.
Mhm.
He passed away, and he didn't leave a will. He didn't leave anything, except he left me as his contact.
Gosh.
And I'm like,
Thanks.
holy crap. Now what do I do? So I have no legal standing in this situation.
Right.
So this is another learning thing for me
Right.
because I didn't know how to I still don't know how to handle.
Right, right. I mean, gosh, you don't want your legacy to be a mess that you leave,
Yeah.
and when we know better, we do better. So I'm hoping that this conversation, you guys, regardless of what stage of your life you're in, that you're able to think about this in the sense of, every day is a gift. And, I know that you specifically help women who are at that stage of life where you're entering that golden third. But all of us can benefit from this. And I think that one of the things that I love about you too is that you're very intentional about leaving a legacy of just impact and stories. And I know that you were, um, you know, practically raised by your grandparents, your Cherokee grandmother that you speak of often, that
Yep.
that have a very big part of your life. And I think that their impact on you has really created in you this love for history, this love for mentorship, this love for storytelling, uh,
Yes.
all of the things. So tell us a little bit about that. Let's honor your grandparents here.
Oh my goodness. Well, mom and dad were, young parents and both had jobs outside the ranch. And so my grandparents basically raised me and my brothers. Not basically, they did. And and I don't throw this Cherokee part out lightly because I was probably 45, 46 years old before I knew that I had a drop of Cherokee blood in my system.
Yeah.
My grandfather, we would do our little daily walks around the ranch,
Yeah.
and we were down near the river, and he pointed out this piece of property, and I don't know if I could even walk back to it today, but he said, "Sis, I want you to," they call me sis or sissy all the time. "I want you to always protect this piece of property." And I'm like, "Okay, what's the significance?" He said, "That's where our ancestors are buried."
Mm.
I'm looking at him going, "Okay, I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Yes, we have Cherokee ancestors." And I could have just dropped on the ground and rolled right there. I'm like, I'm mid age and you're just now telling me that I had Cherokee ancestors. I said, "Why did it take so long?" He said, "Well, it was something that we kept hid because back in the day it was taboo. They didn't want anyone to know that they had that bloodline." And I'm like,
Interesting.
oh, and my heart nearly jumped down in my chest because I'm like, I'm so proud. Now you look at
Right.
me, and I'm like, I don't think I have any Cherokee blood. Well, I got Irish blood from the other side of the family, but both of my brothers and their girls have all the Indian features, and I'm like, I'm so jealous, uh,
Mm.
but I'm also so proud. And I thought, well, how am I going to actually not prove this because I always believed
Yeah.
everything Papa told me. So I did genealogy research
Mhm.
and I found my great, great, great full blood Cherokee grandmother. Um,
Wow.
and she's listed on the roll books in Cherokee, North Carolina. And I'm like, oh, I really do have Cherokee blood.
That is amazing. And I never really thought about that. I don't know if I've shared this with you or not. I know I've never talked about it on the show, but my great grandpa was on the orphan train. And my maiden name is Lynn, Lynn. And the story is told is that when he was little and on this orphan train, they didn't know if his Lynn was his first name or his last name. So they gave it to him as his last name. And so that was kind of the big question mark in our family. And my grandpa, before he passed, was trying to research our family line. And this is before the internet, you guys. So if you can imagine like how hard that was. And so I do you help people that you work with also because you have that skill set now to be able to do some of that genealogy research if they want to know a little bit more about themselves and where they came from?
Absolutely.
How
I mean,
cool is that?
it takes a lot of time, but,
Yeah.
I steer them in the
Mhm.
direction to get the proper help because
Yeah.
I had to research all that. I didn't even know how to start.
Yeah.
And with my history buried so deep, and
Mhm.
even the Irish part was buried really deep
Mhm.
because they fled Ireland during the potato famine,
Okay.
and I actually found where they came to America, which uh, site they came through. I haven't researched much on that side, but just
Yeah.
let me say this: when you put redheaded Irish with beautiful Cherokee, just what you come up with.
You are a beautiful woman inside and out, let me tell you guys. So it's so cool. And you see how like when you weave all of these experiences and you also have a background in financial education. I mean, you taught Dave Ramsey's program for years. You've created your own version of that incorporates all of this stuff. Like what I want you guys to understand is that when you are approaching that threshold of that last third of your life, that golden age of your life, I want you to acknowledge this beautiful tapestry of all of these experiences, the relationships, the financial piece, the stories, the experience they get to pass on, the genealogy, like the skill set you learned professionally and the impact they made professionally. Do you see how beautiful this quilt is that your lifetime has created? And it's almost just like, Argie, you take this with your Her Life Legacy program and you help them to see the pictures, like you're like bringing them out and helping them see all the beautiful parts of their own quilt.
Absolutely. And it's so fun to learn. It was fun to learn about mine, and I'm still learning, and will be
Yeah.
till the day I die.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love to help people discover their quilt patterns and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about we've been talking about your story and kind of how you got to this point, but what else would you like to say when it comes to how it is that you serve these women, who these women are that we haven't already touched on today, because I want to make sure that we can call out the people who need to hear this. And so if you guys are listening to this and you're like, that sounds like my mom, that sounds like my sister, that sounds like me, like I want you to pass this episode on or go in the show notes for sure and get all these nuggets of information about Dr. Argie. But why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more?
Okay. So Her Life Legacy program has several pieces to it. It is a 12-month program, and it can be customized. So there's the different pieces. If you just need the financial piece, that's in there.
And can I just pick real quick on that, because this is something that I found is very interesting, and is that sometimes when women are at this space of their lifetime, they haven't been the one who's been managing their finances,
Mhm.
and their husband passes, and now all of a sudden they're like, well, shit, like I don't even know how to access my bank accounts. I don't, whatever. We both know some people that we care about deeply that are kind of in this situation where their spouse left, maybe, whatever, and there's a mess to clean up, and this allows you to also like bring that. So if that's the biggest piece of your situation, like you can
Yeah,
help with that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I am so passionate about helping women have their finances under control. Just
Mhm.
like you said, there's so many women who, and here we are, 2025, but
Mhm.
there's women who've never pumped gas
Mhm.
or nowadays plugged in their electric car. Uh, you know, you need to know how to do this. You need to know where, um, I, I used here, I'm going to do air quotes
Yeah.
again. You need to
Yeah.
know where the bodies are buried or the money's hidden, which mattress it's under.
You totally do, because that alone might be able to help you decide whether or not you're ready to retire or not. If you don't know where you're at financially, like,
Yeah,
and when you do know, and when you have a good plan, like it, all of those, and I think what we're doing is we're bringing peace and excitement back into the lives of the ladies who you help. And so I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think it's such an important piece of what you do that I wanted to make sure we acknowledged it. So
that's a huge piece,
yeah.
huge, huge piece. And
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was saying before. What
You
was the
were just
question?
so you were just talking about all of the different. I know that you have different pillars,
I
and you
do have.
said finance. So you said that you can customize it, and then you're like, yep. And if it's just the finances part of it, we can do that. So what are the other pillars that you have? Yeah.
Um, well, making the family connections,
Mhm.
the genealogy is part of it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a big chunk of time. I don't. I direct you on how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't do the research myself, but
Correct.
I have
Yes.
an
You're
advisory
you're
board.
empowering and equipping people to know
Yeah.
what to do and how to do it. Yes. Yeah.
I don't make retirement investments, but I have a guy that
Mhm.
helps me do that.
Mhm.
I guide you down the road and send you to an estate attorney to get the paperwork set up. I don't actually do the paperwork myself. Now, I have vetted all of these people very
Mhm.
well
Mhm.
before I recommend. And so I call them my advisors. I even have a CPA who is a fraud specialist, and she works one on one with my clients. Um, I have contract attorney. If you're a business person, she'll go in and check your contracts to make sure they're set up correctly. So there's so many different little pieces of this
Hmm.
program. You pick and choose what works for you. And if you want the whole thing, the whole package, you can get it. I
And
stay
you're
with
there to guide people too with your wisdom and be like, hey, I'm really thinking that we need to focus here for a little bit too, if they need that.
another thing that people don't think about, and I call this my house inventory.
Hmm.
And that's not just for people getting ready to retire. That's for anybody,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Even if you live in an apartment, okay, and today with modern technology, you need to take your cell phone and you need to go through and take pictures of everything in your house, because I live in Tornado Alley. I never know when I'm going to be wiped out by a tornado.
Right.
We never know when a fire or a storm or a hurricane or whatever is going to take our livelihood away from us.
Hmm.
Now, if I've got all this photographed, videoed, and documented, and then after it's over and done with, and it's scattered all over, I'm talking about a tornado, because you'll
Hmm.
never find some of that stuff ever.
Right.
And so you go to your insurance and say, I would like to collect and rebuild my house, and they're going to say, well, what all was in your house? I need to know what's covered.
Yeah.
Well, hello, we all have
Yeah.
closets that are full of stuff. Open that
Right.
door and take pictures. Open your cabinet doors and take pictures of your dishes.
I
Your
think that this, that's this is what I'm hearing and thinking in my mind. Like that sounds like something I need to do, but I probably won't actually follow through on it. And this is the thing that I love about your program is that there's accountability.
yeah, yeah.
So it's actually making people like me do things that I'm like, yeah, I'll do that someday. And it's like, no,
Uh,
do
no, we're going to do it today.
it.
Well, it's going to take more than a day, I can tell you
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And people don't stop and think about that, but I'm sorry, natural disasters happen all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you need to protect yourself. Now you're going, okay, well, what if my cell phones with all these pictures are blown away as well? Well, you can upload this stuff to the cloud. You can put it on a little thumb drive and put it in a safe deposit box.
Hmm.
There's all kinds of options. But
Hmm.
what I'm saying is just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just do the dang thing,
Yeah.
because it's important.
Yes, it is. Yes. So what else do you do?
Well, we talk about spiritual things.
Mhm.
When you accepted Christ, or if you accepted Christ, everybody has a different deity that they worship.
Mhm.
And if your great grandkids don't know that,
Mhm.
I mean, that's a piece of history. That's a piece of you that's lost.
Mhm.
So that kind of goes back to some of that storytelling. That's
Yeah.
an important story that
Yes.
you need to share with your family.
Right.
So
Right.
there's just, legacy is so huge. It's
Mhm.
writing those letters, it's making that peace, it's
Yeah.
telling those stories. And here again, with our technology today, you're like, oh, I don't write very well, or I can't organize my thoughts. Well, for goodness gracious, put your camera up in front of you, press the video button, and start
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And do you know, uh, this is a family thing that I have to tell. Uh, my girls, my nieces are just freaking hilarious. So, but they have this standing family joke is that, yeah, we're taking pictures for your funeral video. And I'm like, let me give you my best smile.
Right. Right. Right.
Well,
It's funny though that Andy and I were just watching Dateline last night, and we're like, "Dang, that's the best picture they had of her. Like, that's really too bad because she wasn't smiling or anything." And I'm like, "Oh, I need to make sure that I'm smiling for pictures and that there's pictures of
exactly.
me and stuff." No, it's funny. Yeah,
So, that's the thing now at your final service, they're always, playing your video and stuff. And we lost my brother couple of years ago, which was so hard.
yeah.
And but the video, he even before he passed, he even edited his own video.
Oh,
He's
that's awesome.
like, no, girls, you're gonna have to take that picture out because that's not a good one.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and
but it's a part of your life.
Mhm.
Embrace it.
Embrace it, have fun with it, celebrate it, all the things. And there's so much that you do. We could, I mean, I feel like we could spend so much time getting into every little detail because you guys, it's so comprehensive. And
Mhm.
like I said, RG has a lifetime of experience, and she realizes like this is what this is what I want my contribution to be. And that's what I love about you is that you also help women to discover like what new identity do they want in this season. That just because you're not a professor anymore doesn't mean that you're not done contributing, and you were able to morph this into this beautiful purpose that is an extension of who you've been, and you help people do that as well. Like it's so fun. It's so fun.
It is fun. So don't take this the wrong way, but when you die and you're laying there in your coffin looking up at all the people coming by, because we don't know what happens when we
Right.
pass away. We assume,
Yeah.
but as you're looking up at these people, you'll be thinking, "Oh, I remember a story about them." Write those stories down now so other people can share those stories.
Yeah.
Don't be sad laying there in your coffin looking up at all the people walking by
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the things that they're remembering. And, you know,
Yes. That
now,
it's Go
I
ahead.
don't mean for that to be morbid, but
No.
that's just a way to look at things.
Well, I think that it's just this reminder, right? That that's it's not too late. And
It's
then I
never,
think that sometimes we're like, oh, though that relationship is too far gone, or oh, my property is such a mess that I'm just gonna let my kids figure it out. Or
yeah,
I just think that whatever. And it's like it's not too late. And I just love that you have given women a container in which to have the support and the tools so that they don't have to figure it out on their own, that
exactly.
they have both the emotional support, the wisdom, the strategy, the resources, the people, like all of the things in one place. And
Exactly.
I am so stinking proud to be a part of your journey. And the more that I get to work with you, like we've had some good times on those retreats, haven't we? And
Yes,
we've
ma'am.
had some breakthroughs, and it's just been so fun to watch you. And I'm excited for anyone who gets the opportunity to work with you because you are a brilliant woman with a heart of gold, and you know a little bit about everything. So it's really fun. It's really fun to watch you.
I might be a little dangerous because I do know a little bit about everything.
Yes, well, you know what? I'm going to invite all of you guys to consider, the next retreat in Greece so that you can experience some of Argie's danger.
Ooh,
so so go ahead. What were we going to say?
that danger comes with a smile and laughter.
Yeah.
I, anything that you can throw out, I've got a story that could probably top it, and we'll be sitting there laughing through the whole thing.
It's
So,
gonna be it's yeah it's you're an amazing woman, and I'm honored and grateful to know you. So let's go ahead and give people some insight into how they can work with you, how they can find you. We're gonna have everything in the show notes, but for those of you guys who are just auditory processors, go ahead and tell us your website and what they can find there.
okay, it's called HER, HER, lifelegacy.com. HER stands for honor, educate, and rise. And then under each one of those pillars are the details some of the details that we've discussed, um, and all the things that you have access to.
Yeah.
Um, that website is a work in progress. I keep adding different programs, different courses in there. So the first thing that pops up when you get to that website will be this legacy survey. It lets me know. Well, it gives me your contact information for one thing, but it also lets me know what you as a person are concerned with. What's the most important thing? Is it leaving the stories? Is it finding the peace? Is it the financial piece? And so
Yeah.
that gives me a little bit of direction to reach out to you and say, here's what I offer, here's
Yeah.
how I can
Yeah.
help. And you can
Yeah.
book one on one calls with me and we can discuss exactly what you're looking for. And if you want the whole package and you want to stay with me for a whole year, Yep, you can do that too.
You can do that too. I love that so much. You guys, I hope that you guys got out of this conversation as much as I did. I love just hearing about all of the things that have created this wise woman in front of me, and I cannot wait to see even more of the impact that you're making in this world. So, all right, you guys, make sure that you leave a review, find us on social, reach out, all of the things, because we love to hear from you. Make these conversations come to life by reaching out. Okay, we'll talk to you next week. Bye, everybody. So much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Each honest review helps me spiral up so that I can serve you even better. Whether you're feeling a lack of impact, income, or time freedom, or perhaps you're just ready for massive momentum in your business, let's chat. Apply for a breakthrough call so that you can gain clarity, identify what's holding you back, and make a plan to spiral up. Head on over to iam-lifebydesign.com/breakthrough or access the link in the show notes. For immediate support, log into our community, the Better Club. We focus on inspiration, tactical guidance, and support. This is a community that wants to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business, and we're going to help you do the same. Let's spiral up, friends.